Davante Adams went and told the Raiders he does not want to be playing there anymore. He wants to play elsewhere. And people are going to speculate some destinations for him. I think the two spots that makes the most sense, the New York Jets. He's been glazing Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been glazing him too. In every interview, they're always talking about, oh, I miss playing with Davante Adams. Oh, I want to play with Aaron Rodgers again. And Davante Adams was even saying stuff the Jets need to work on as a team. Bro, you're on the Raiders. Why are you doing this? So Davante Adams, obviously going to the Jets, that's an obvious landing spot, probably the favorite landing spot for him right now. He would definitely do damage with Aaron Rodgers again. I mean, you look at the production he was putting up in Green Bay, 1,500 yards receiving, 13 touchdowns, 115 catches the year before, 1,300 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns. So the production was crazy. He was an elite receiver, the best receiver in the league. And I think quarterback play has really took him out of that conversation. The production's still been pretty solid, 1,000 yards every season. It's just Gardner Minshew, Aiden O'Connell, or Jimmy Garoppolo throwing in the ball, and it's really been tough. He's been fighting. Separation's been there. Still been playing at a high level, making great catches, having great performances for the Raiders, still winning them some games because how dominant he was out there against the opposing secondary. And it's just been, you really don't bat an eye at it because the quarterback play has been so bad, the offense has been so bad, and the Raiders are just not a great football team. So him on the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, he would be elite again. He would be in that conversation with Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson. Like I said, just being with the Raiders and quarterback play has really took him out that conversation. He's still a top 5 receiver, but he would be up there. So I think the Jets is a good spot for him. And I think the Jets, they're desperate. Their head coach, he's on the hot seat, Joe Douglas. He's going to do whatever he can to make Aaron Rodgers happy because their jobs are on the line. Aaron Rodgers, if he's healthy, the season plays out, you're expected to compete for a championship. So Davante Adams coming to the Jets, that's something that's going to make Aaron Rodgers and this team better. You need to make it happen. So I think they would be willing to give the Raiders whatever they want to get Davante Adams. I think maybe a second round pick. That's what the Raiders are saying they want. I think that's very doable. But could you imagine an offense that featured a receiver group that featured Mike Williams, Allen Lazard, Davante Adams, and Garrett Wilson? Oh my God, that's fucking crazy. Garrett Wilson, he's a number 1 wide receiver, but he would be able to learn under Davante Adams, one of the best route runners in NFL history, just an elite all-time Hall of Fame receiver. That would be a guy he can lean on and a guy that he could work with, and he can, improve his own game having a guy like that. And both of those guys will be able to feed off each other. I know Garrett Wilson, he's expected to have a breakout year this year. It's been a little struggles so far. I think having Davante out there would help him a lot. And, his connection with Aaron Rodgers would improve. Having another guy out there that could be receiver 1. And I think receiver 1 for the Jets, if Davante Adams was out there, would be Davante Adams. Let's be real. I know Garrett Wilson is great. I know he's good. He's younger. But Davante Adams, 31 years old, he's still elite and in his prime. So I think that would be the number 1 receiver option for the Jets this season if Davante was out there. But like I said, I think they both could feed off each other and they both could have success together. And that would be one of the scariest wide receiver duos in the NFL, probably the best. Let's be honest. But the destination I want Davante Adams to go to the most, come on, Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson has never had an elite receiver. Mark Andrews was great for a couple seasons when he was healthy, but he was never Davante Adams. Davante Adams would be exactly the player you need in this offense to push the field. Davante Adams is the exact vertical threat you need in this offense. Imagine Derrick Henry having 25 carries, 150 yards rushing. Davante Adams putting up 11 catches, 140 yards receiving, and a touchdown. This is a weapon Lamar Jackson needs. And I think, the playoff woes, having receivers drop the ball in the playoffs and just losing a game because the offense is just not clicking. Derrick Henry is going to change that. Davante Adams is going to change that. Davante Adams ain't going to get locked down by Trent McDuffie. That's not happening. So when you play the Chiefs, you have an answer. And Zay Flowers, I feel like he's better suited as a receiver 2 instead of that dominant alpha receiver 1. I think he could go in the slot and, take a back seat and have a dominant perimeter threat in Davante Adams out in the outside, and Zay Flowers will be able to eat off him, be able to get more separation, be able to get more looks because he has Davante Adams. Rashad Bateman's not your second best receiver now. He's your third best receiver. So everybody is going to be in a role that's better suited for them. Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews, they'll be able to get a little more open looks because, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, those guys won't have to get that much attention anymore because you have Davante Adams. And that run game, you got to stop that run game. You got to find a way to stop them. And so far, the last 2 games when the Ravens have been leaning on that run game, giving Derrick Henry 20 carries, yeah, no team can stop that so far. Not the Bills, not the Cowboys, 2 really good defenses. So I don't think a team will be able to have an answer for this run game. And if you put Davante Adams in the mix, yeah, the Ravens are winning the chip. And this is a place I feel like Davante Adams could retire. I mean, just play his career out with Lamar Jackson, them just continue to have success, win championships together. Derrick Henry too, great defense, young defense. Lamar Jackson winning MVPs with, Zay Flowers as his best receiver, or, Hollywood Brown as his best receiver. Give him Davante Adams. He's going to put up numbers. And he's definitely going to go back-to-back MVP if he gets him soon. If it's trade deadline, it's later on in the season, I don't know. But yeah, the numbers will be epic, will be historic if Lamar Jackson gets Davante Adams. And he's already showing that he's going to have 1,000 yards rushing this season. He looks more explosive since he cut down some weight. So yeah, Lamar Jackson, an elite quarterback. You give him an elite receiver. He already has an elite run game with Derrick Henry and an elite defense. Yeah, this is the last final piece the Ravens need to win a championship. So the spot I think I want Davante Adams to go to the most, the Ravens. Some people thought the NFC North was going to be the worst division in football this season. They thought it was going to be as bad as the NFC South.